just begun. Cameras flash, reporters run, notebooks open wide. Something from the filing cabinet just stepped outside. It was a Tuesday morning, quiet on the hill until the Oversight Committee handed us the bill. The Commerce Secretary sat in a closed-door room, voluntary, off the record, no camera, no Zoom. Free meetings, he said, meaningless, small, no waiting, consequential moments that he'd rather not narrate. But the committee typed it up and walked it to the door, and suddenly the hallways had a lot more noise than before. The anchors all leaned forward, the producers hit their mark, somebody lit a spotlight on some very dusty archives. The photographs get heavy when the context starts to shift, and a birthday note from 2003 became a national gift. Nobody's calling anybody guilty here tonight, but documents have weight and paper catches light. When the past and present meet inside a hearing room, better have your statement ready, better clear the fumes. Dark past surface, what's possible time? The ticker keeps running, the clock keeps its rhyme. Leaders in boardrooms, media on fire, everybody spinning on the same high wire. Dark past surface, the files found the floor, the story wrote itself right through the door. Nobody said guilty, nobody said free, but the vault cracked open for the world to see. Then a former attorney general picked up his pen, wrote a Wall Street Journal op-ed explaining once again why the files weren't released inside the 30-day frame. Reasonable, he argued, but the optics weren't the same. The legal team assembled, the talking points aligned, 100 different versions of the very same headline. Regional players watching from their capitals abroad, filing their intelligence reports, sending notes to God. In Brussels they were reading it and react to. In every foreign ministry there's always someone who keeps a folder labeled leverage in a drawer somewhere deep. In American political drama is the file they always keep. The media machine turned butter out of yesterday's milk. International correspondents dressed in diplomatic silk. Each channel had a different angle, every anchor had a take. Somebody built a narrative before they had their break. Nobody's naming conspiracies on this broadcast tonight, but hidden agendas have a shadow and shadows need light. When the op-ed and the transcript blend the very same week, the timing isn't destiny, it's just a fascinating streak. Dark past surface, worst possible time. The ticker keeps running, the clock keeps its rhyme. Leaders in boardrooms, media on fire, everybody spinning on the same high wire. Dark past surface, the files found the floor, the story wrote itself right through the door. Nobody said guilty, nobody said free, but the vault cracked open for the world to see. See, every major story has a local and a global soul. What happens in a hearing room can echo past the Capitol dome. The skeptics in the comment section, skeptics in the press, everybody's fact-checking somebody else's guess. The cynics say it's theater, the believers say it's proof, the analysts say wait for more before you hit the roof. The regional commentators say America's always loud, but when the files come out in Washington, the whole world draws a crowd. Dark humor in the detail, a birthday note survives while empires rise and crumble, paperwork still thrives. Heavy guitars playing underneath the nightly news, geopolitics and gossip wearing each other's shoes. Dark past surface, dark past surface, dark past surface, dark past surface. The ticker keeps running, the clock keeps its rhyme. Leaders in boardroom, media on fire, everybody spinning on the same high wire. Dark past surface, the files hit the ground, every closed door meeting makes an open door sound. Nobody said guilty, nobody said free, but the vault cracked open and the world got to see. And the world got to see. That's the bulletin. Stay skeptical, stay sharp. The story isn't over when they dim the studio dark. have memory, transcripts have weight, and somewhere in an archive, the next file sits and... Wait a minute. Wait a minute, slow it down. Let's read between the lines. Not every smoking document is smoke. Sometimes it's just the signs of a political season where the pressure needs release, and somebody opens up a drawer to manufacture peace. The opposition sharpens pencils, sharpens every quote. The administration drafts responses, drafts a different note. Meanwhile, in the middle ground, the independent mind is sorting through the avalanche to see what's left behind. Voluntary testimony in a room without a tape is still testimony, just with a little extra drape. Off the record doesn't mean the record disappears. It means the record surfaced, wearing different kinds of gears. In the corridors of power from the east to the west, every ally and every rival takes a note and takes a rest. Watching how a superpower handles its own mess is the oldest geopolitical intelligence test. The regional players never comment officially out loud, but their analysts are watching from a very interested crowd. Because the stories that embarrass always carry extra weight in negotiation rooms where every weakness feels debate. A file, a note, a transcript, an op-ed in the press becomes a chess piece on a board you never second guess. Not because the details of themselves are global threat, but leverage has a long shelf life, and nobody forgets. The media in allied nations covers it with careful tone. Neutral words, diplomatic phrasing, never throw a stone. But the suffix in the sidebar in the editorial space says America is doing what America does at pace. At pace. Now, hidden agendas aren't always dark conspiracy. Sometimes they're just interest-wearing bureaucracy. A committee with a hearing scheduled months ahead uses breaking news as fuel to push the story fed. The timing skeptics always ask, who benefits right now? Whose approval numbers need a story to allow a distraction or a spotlight or a villain for the weak? Geopolitical theater always has a peak. But here's the counter-argument the cynics tend to miss. Real documents are real regardless of the politics. A transcript is a transcript whether convenient or not. And a birthday note from 2003 was always in that spot. The hidden agenda isn't always planting something new. Sometimes it's just refusing to let old things stay from view. The agenda is transparency dressed in opposition clothes, and where it ends and politics begins, nobody truly knows. Nobody truly knows. Channel 2 says overblown. Channel 3 is running graphics. Channel 4 is on the phone. The streaming platforms package it in 20-minute cuts. The podcasters unpack it from their studios and huts. The algorithm rewards the loudest, most alarming frame. The measured voice gets buried. Nuance doesn't play the game. So by the evening cycle, what was complicated law became a headline sharper than it probably ever was. Dark past, the chara loves that phrase. It fills the lower third and holds the viewer's gaze. But dark is relative and past is always present tense when the news machine needs content. And the pressure's getting dense. The people in the plastic streets just want to understand. Not every detail, not the law, just where exactly land. The truth inside the testimony, the truth inside the spin, where the verified facts stop and the editorial begins. The skeptical of everyone, the committee and the crown, the op-ed and the outlet, and the man they're trying to down, because trust has been eroded from so many different sides that even when the vault cracks open, everybody hides behind the predetermined view, the prefer news feed, the trusted partisan anchor planting every seed. So the dark past and the present meet inside a skeptic's mind, and the vault cracked open, but the truth is hard to find. So here we sit inside the noise of April turning May. So here we stand inside the noise of April turning May. Another week of breaking news that may or may not wait against the mountain of tomorrows, fresh and urgent file. The vault cracked open, and it's gonna take a while.